Hey guys, it's Shane. Welcome back down to the workshop. Today's video we're going to be carrying on with our larp weapon and we're going to be painting and varnishing it. So I hope you'll stick with me. If you will, please do me a favour and hit the subscribe button below. Hit the bell button as well so you'll know when I go live with new videos and stuff for you. If you have any questions about anything I'm doing or any materials and such, leave a comment below. I will also in the description leave a link to any of the materials I use so you can pick them up yourselves. Let's jump into it. Here we have our larp sword. In the previous video we latexed this, so this is now nice and dry. And just to show you how durable this is, this thing is built to take a beating. The latex is added to the strength. Everything is now nice and solid. She flex and turn and everything will move and bend as it's supposed to, and it will not damage. Okay, this should be good for a good number of years. That's what a larp weapon's for. It's for fighting with. So today's video we're going to be painting this up. Now our first step is to cover the whole foam area in a single black coat. Now what that's going to do is add a black texture to it. It's going to make everything nice and smooth. The paint we're going to be using is this flexipaint brush ready black. Now you can get this from Tyra Supply. It's an amazing paint. I really recommend it. So we're going to be using that first, and then we're going to be going on to a silver, which again is flexipaint. I use flexipaint for most of my coverings. So one coat of black, dry that out, one coat of silver, and that will give us a nice iron look, so it's really dark grey. And then we can start adding silver pigments to it, gold pigments on here on the decoration. The handle will be wrapped in leather, so that's completely separate. Okay, so what we're going to do now is go and put a black coat on this. Okay, so we're back in our spray bay. I have a new gun now with black Flexi paint layered into it. So again, just like we did before, you're going to start above your work, work your way down, or you're going to start away from your work and work your way across. So start, finish, start, finish. Okay, if you start doing this, yeah, it will build up layers and it will start making it run and such. Okay, so we only need the foam parts and the black parts. Okay, like so. Okay, so she's had a single coat of black Flexi paint. The whole thing, other than the handle, has been covered. As you can see, everything has had a single coat of black Flexi paint, including the pommel. Alright, now this is dry, touch dry. It's give it a nice black sheen, as you can see. Smooth the blade out even more. Flexi paint will add like latex. As you layer it, it will get thicker and thicker. We don't want to go too hard with the latex. The same with your Flexi paint. Okay, so we've still got all our writing details, even though you can't see it very well because of the black. Once there's silvers on it, you'll see why we do a black first. Black will hide any pencil or pen marks. It will also hide a couple of mistakes if you've made them. Once you put the silver over the top, like this writing and all this indent stuff that we've burnt in, will show up because that will still be black. So part of your job's already done. This is why I always do a black coat first, and now we're going to add a silver coat to this. Okay, so the black is done. We've got another gun, this time with Flexi paint silver in it. Okay, same thing, nice and even coats. Okay, so our silver coat is now complete. This is what I call the iron look. A nice, like dull grey. Now what we're going to do is leave that for now, and we're going to go straight onto the gold. So this part here and this part we're going to do in gold, and the same with this lip here is going to be gold. The rest is going to be silver. We're not going to leave it as this dull grey either. Don't worry, we're going to tart that up. But for now, it's these bits. Okay, so we'll just put that to the side. Now what we're going to use is this gold powder. Now this is done by Tyra Supply. Again, the same company who does flexipaint. And what we're going to do is we're going to find a little pot. Now this stuff is magic. It is absolutely beautiful. So what we do is get a little pot, okay, and we pour in a generous amount of this powder. Not too much, because we only need to do these bits. That should be more than enough. Now you should be wearing a mask when you use this, because it is a metallic powder. So we've got a fair amount of powder in there. Now we need some water. Now I tend to use distilled water with this, just a little bit, and we're going to use a brush and we're going to mix that up. I try to get it into a paste. There's still not enough water in there, so you want it into a rather thick paste before you do anything. Now once we've got it as a paste, we then need some flexipaint clear. Again, flexipaint done from Tyra Supply. Now this stuff is magic. The clear, you can add any acrylic paint to it. So if I wanted to use this bronze, which is just a normal acrylic paint, if I add a little bit of this flexipaint clear to it, it becomes just as flexible as this. Now flexipaint is very flexible and it's quite rubbery, so this is why we use it. Now to the gold, we add a little bit of this flexipaint clear. Now I've only got this part, and this rim to do, so I don't need a whole lot. Don't waste your paint. That should be more than enough. Now mix it all up. Okay. So that's a larger section. So what we're going to do is just this middle rim. Okay, so make sure you keep mixing it up. Okay, again, this stuff is like water now, so don't let it run all over your work. Just a nice thin coat. It's going to take a couple of coats. Right, now we have one base coat on this, so now we're going to do these. Again, keep mixing it, do not let it settle. Right, I think that's it. Okay, so we're going to move that out of the way. And now we're going to dry this. Okay, so use a hairdryer, not a heat gun. So there's one coat of the gold Flexi paint. As you can see, some of the grey coming through from underneath. Now if we'd have left that as a black, it would really shine through. and it'll give this like an antique look. Now, this is an elf sword, so I want it to look not pristine, but I want it to look damn good. You know, so it's been worn, it's been used. So I'm going to give it another coat. There, now. There is our beautiful gold. Now, it doesn't look pristine gold because of the dark colours underneath coming through. Now, if I really wanted to make that shine, I take a bit of the dry powder, put it on, and then just buff it up, and it'll really pop. But I want it to look a little bit worn, a little bit handy, so it's been through the wars a little bit. The next step is to put the silver on this to make it look like steel. So, the gold is now dry. The crossguard and on. Now, because it's flexi paint, it will not crack. Now, they also do other metallic powders. They even do a rust powder. I will put a link to their website down below. I'm now going to be painting the pommel. I'm going to be going over it in a Tamara chrome silver. Now, the way I do this technique, it's not rocket science, but I'm not going to go into too much detail here. If you guys want me to do a video just on my painting technique, how I make things look like steel, put a comment below and I'll do a video on that. But for now, I'm just going to go over these and you will see the difference going from what I call the iron metal to a steel. Right, so we now have a steel pommel and a golden trim compared to dull grey. Now onto the blade. Okay, so we have a steel elf blade rather than a dull grey one. So now we do the top and we do this section, work our way onto this bit. Have a steel sword. Okay, weathering time. We do not need to use the old method of getting a bit of black and brown coloured wash water and dabbing. We don't need to do that now because we have that effect thanks to the silver look. Because we did the black and then the grey covering and then we literally just dry brushed the silver chrome over it, we don't need to do that. It looks weathered enough as it is on the silver. But what we do need to do is make everything else stand out. So these nice lines that we engraved, each and every join there, a little bit into this blood rivet, and then again on here, we need to go back in with this. This is Tamara Smoke. It's like a watered down black. So you can do it with just watered down black, but it's a very interesting colour because it's like a shady water. Now what this will do is make all the gaps pop. So you're just putting a little bit of grime in there. So wherever there's a seam, just muddy it up a little bit. need a thinner brush, so I will use one of my fine brushes, and we're going to go into these gaps in here and on the blade. Done. Okay, so she is now finished. So it's a basic elven blade, done and dusted. So next step will be to varnish the whole thing except the handle. So she's now nice and dried. Okay, she's safe for us to work on, so make sure you get all the dust off every part you're going to be using. Okay, so what we're going to be using is this. This is Isoflex Special Primer. This will dry transparent, allow all in the colours to shine through really nice, and it adds a protective rubber coat that will really seal everything in, make sure it's waterproof, UV resistant, and it'll last for years. You put it on with a brush, not too thick, I will show you. However, this is very toxic and you need a respirator. Once that's done, that's it. Apart from wrapping the handle, she's ready to go. I'm going to put the mask on and we'll start varnishing. Okay, so now she's been completely covered in the varnish. We just need to let that dry, which will take a good few hours. Now when you put this on, it is quite thin, so don't layer it on nice thin even coats and work it in. So when I hang this up, I don't want it all running down. Now as you can see, it looks quite shiny there. Okay, when this dries, it will be a lot more so. Okay guys, that's it. She is now finished. Started in part 1, we designed and built up the template that we needed to use for this blade. In part 2, we actually built the blade construction out of a carbon fibre core and then layered on the foam afterwards and shaped the blade. Part 3 was the hilt, the crossguard and the pommel. Got all that built up together, making it all look nice. And then part 4 was latexing. Once all the latex is done, we were then painting it, which we've just done in this video, and then varnishing. The only thing that's left to do is wrapping the handle, and that will completely finish the blade off. Now, if you guys want me to build other weapons, and you'd like me to see do that, or maces, hammers, axes, anything like that, spears even, leave a comment below, and I'll get to it. You can watch me on live on Twitch under the same name, TTC Craftworks. There's the brand. I stream most Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays. Guys, if you like this video, please do me a solid and subscribe and hit that bell button. You'll be alerted when I do all the videos. And if there's something you'd like me to cover in particular, a certain type of topic, detailing work, different painting techniques, if you would like me to go into more detail with those, again, put a comment below and I'll get a video up for that. Okay guys, so thank you for joining me, and see you in the next one.